my presentation, is also very, comprehensive. I try to do a little bit comprehensive. So what are you, usually after you take back, after this presentation, will be so Quantia offer affordable, scalable AI clusters, right, with customizable options for your business. So this we offer one of the alternative one of the alternatives in the marketplace field working for the other offering, right? One is NVIDIA's one offering, and the other one is the cloud. I will show you the comparison later. You will see the details. Okay. Okay, about me, right? So, I'm in the industry for 25 years experience. I have in IT, networking, cybersecurity, software and the data storage. So I'm a CEO of Quantia. We're leading company in network package data analytics for AI infrastructure. My mission, also the company mission, is to democratize AI infrastructure for all, that empower any enterprise to own an AI training or inferencing cluster, which is affordable, scalable, tailored to your needs, right? Because AI infrastructure should be within the reach for every business ready to harness its power. So you control your own destiny, right? This is our goal. So about company, Quantia. So Quantia started, as a pioneers of the network data, traffic data analytics, leverage unique pattern technology to deliver high speed, high resolution, okay, high performance network data traffic insights, okay. So this core technology backed by granted US patent. We got a patent evolved to optimize AI workload, performance monitoring, and support, and advanced intrusion detections, okay, systems. Today, so Quantia has grown into the leading AI infrastructure provider, offer scalable AI cluster designed for robust performance and security, tailored to meet the demand of the, for the modern AI workload. So AI infrastructure is within the reach, right? So the AI landscape is rapidly evolving, but traditionally, the infrastructure has been remained exclusively to larger enterprise, right? If you are the company like XAI or like Meta, right? You have financial resource to own, really have the infrastructure to train you, to have your keep your AI project training, AI project going and training the models and so on, right? So so that's for the normal business, and the larger usually is like medium size or smaller size the organization, right? It's not attainable, right? It's because of the cost. It's highly not be able to achieve for that kinds of expenses. So we introduce our Quantia's QAI cluster, a customizable, affordable, and a secure AI solution designed for our business. Okay, so basically you own your AI cluster, it's yours, right? You're flexible with flexible options to suit your specific needs. So from GPUs to operating systems to the data storage, right? You can pick choose. You can design for your needs. Okay, so that's the point here. So bring AI to every business, right? So AI infrastructure has been, dominated by tech giants, right? Make it inaccessible for the small and the medium size of the business, right? So Quantia QAI cluster basically enable all the companies to own your own AI infrastructure avoiding the costly cloud subscription fees, and protect the proprietary data, and customize the secure cluster to meet specific industry needs, right? So it doesn't matter you are healthcare, finance, insurance, or manufacturing, right? As long as you have AI models, you want to train, right? Let's say you want to do the models, you want to customize foundation models, or you do LLM, or you want to do some Gen AI, whatever. So you need the infrastructure. So we are just one of the alternatives. You can you can pick and choose, right? So the features that matter, right? So the features we provide here, the first one is affordability. As I mentioned to you, we are starting approximately at 500K, right, for the cluster, which is also can adjustable to meet the customer needs, the budget. We can flexible in configure different components and so on to make it accessible to a wide range of the business, right? So customize, right? Choose your GPUs, operating systems, and the storage sites that are best fit your workload. So scalability, right? Again, I mentioned to you before that scale is important. We can scale from 8 GPUs at 2 nodes AMD GPU cluster or 4 nodes NVIDIA GPU cluster in a single rack to our 100 nodes plus, in multiple rack, okay? So that's as your business grows, you can add on, right? So what I'm mentioning here is only the GPUs is from the NVIDIA or AMD. All the rest of the hardware components we use an industrial standard. So that's why we can lower the cost. At the same time, keep the performance and also keep the security going, right? So I will show you later a few slides to for the comparison, the details. Okay, so data privacy. You maintain full control of your sensitive data, without worry or needs for cloud services, right? But it's yours. You own that. Built-in performance monitoring. Optimize monitoring workloads in real time. That's very important. Security with means that we have integrated intrusion detection systems with the cluster. So that is a robust threat protection for everything included in this package. So yes, tailored to your needs, flexible hardware, software options. As I mentioned to you before, like GPUs, you can choose a range of the GPUs. Could be AMD or NVIDIA, right? A100, H100, V100, and the T4 GPUs, right? And also AMDs, right? MI300, MI200X. So whatever the versions you choose, depending on your workload, depending on your budget, you can make a wise decision here. And the same as the operating systems, right? So currently, predominated for AI training system, the operating systems, the Linux, mostly is Ubuntu or CentOS, right? You can choose the versions fit your original development environment, so we can set up for you. Then we provide the minimum data storage, right? That is 500 terabytes, and that can be scaled to multi-petabytes storage at your, depending on data size. If you want to scale later or in the beginning, whatever we can do for you to handle any data size. Okay, so that's very important because data is one of the main components for you to have a successful model trained, right? And the data storage should be very close to the training process, right? So there are very important things is on the data storage technology for specially fits for in this AI infrastructure. Okay, so customize your infrastructure based on your workload, right? What workload type? Let's say if you do some deep learning or natural language processing or computer vision, different models can have different requirements. So the data cluster can be customized for your particular type of the workload, right? So that's it. That's why it's tailored to your needs, flexible hardware and the software options for you. Okay, so built-in optimization and the security, right? The performance monitoring is real-time insight into the cluster performance. So what that means, in most of the cases, in a cluster, will be some GPUs very, very busy, overloaded. Some GPUs are idle, right? That's very, very important is we have to know which GPU are idle because that's a waste of money because the GPU costs lots of money. And then that's why the performance monitoring is so critical in real time. You have to be able to know what's going on and help you optimize the resource allocations of the GPU computing, right? So then again, it will be the scalable computing power. What that means is you customize your computing nodes in the GPUs, as I mentioned to you before. And so to, oh, sorry. So customize your computing nodes and the GPUs for the specific AI workloads running, right? You are running. So that's scalable means here. Again, the intrusion detection systems, IDS, and provide the continuous security monitoring and protect your cyber threats. Okay. So starting small, scale big, right? We're starting at, starting from 8 GPUs, as I mentioned to you before, like 4 nodes of NVIDIA GPUs clusters or 2 nodes AMD GPU clusters in a single rack initially. Will keep your investment low. Then we can expand scale, right? 100 plus nodes in multiple racks as your business grows. So starting small, scale big, that is really have benefits to the initial investment. So QAI clusters are designed for seamless scalability, allow you to add nodes, add storage, right? Adding computing power as you need, ensuring your infrastructure grows in tandem with your AI demands, right? So without compromise the performance and the security. Yeah, so affordable, customizable, scalable, as I mentioned to you before. Here, so basically, it's compare cost of Quantia's QAI cluster is to the traditional cloud-based or proprietary AI infrastructure, right? So I mentioned it before. So basically, it's a one-time investment with the recurring cloud fees, provide long-term cost savings, predictable expenses, all right? So flexible, to expand as needed without the risk of escalating the cloud cost, right? So predictable, easy for you the budgeting, so good for the enterprise financial decisions. So for the customer solution, basically for any industry, as long you have the model, you have an AI project going, you want to have some training infrastructure, right? So we can be one of the options, right? Healthcare, all the verticals, industry verticals, doesn't matter. It's the finance, telecom, insurance, retail, manufacturing, right? As long as you have AI models, you have AI project going, right? You can consider cloud, you can consider NVIDIA solutions, and you also can think about the Quantia here. So the other very important things is here. When you purchase from us, right? Once you get the system shipped to you, what you get is all-in-one convenience. It's fully integrated, pre-configured, okay? There's no other vendors to do that. So what that means is much easier for you to get the AI project going and easily, right? Very easy to starting to doing the jobs related, right? So when you get the systems, the clusters, you will see the network configured, console server configured, right? DHCP, whatever namespace configured, data storage provided, and the Linux operating system installed, right? And the Kubernetes master nodes enabled, allocated for you, right? So filtered and direct network traffic data configured, ready to capture, analyze network data traffic on all nodes for the cluster performance, right? And also intrusion detection enabled. So you already get everything set up for you, right? You don't need like some vendor. You get the components, then you have to hire consultants, consultant companies to doing for you to set up. They are not a work here, right? Because this require expertise. And then if you don't have these kinds of help, this kind of setup, you will spend a lot of time, manpower, and money to get this up and running, right? But for us, we consider the difficulty you have. So that's why the all-in-one convenience, fully integrate, pre-configured is here, right? So make your life lots of easier. So, okay, let's talk about the security, integrity of the cluster, right? So we have intrusion detection systems. So that enable you to protect against the data penetration, right? And also inside threats also, right? So because we're monitoring all the network data paths, the traffics, right? So compliance also we can help to monitor, right? If you have particular parameters you want to set up the monitoring, so our monitoring system is capable to do that, okay? For the policies, for compliance policies, we can check for you, right? And then the deep packet inspections and advanced the threat detections. And then the last one is forensic and the instant response. So what that means, one of the things is if you want to go back, let's say if you want to keep the performance, the data, right? Performance monitoring the data for, let's say, 3 months, half a year, or 1 year, right? We can do this for you. Because if we want to go back to check the performance, how is the cluster run, right? Where's the hotspot, where's the idle GPUs, and where's the instance happens, right? Maybe security threat instance happens, or some attacks, whatever. If you keep the data, we keep the data for you, you can do forensic analysis. That is very, very valuable for your long-term planning, for you the health of the cluster, right? For the what's going on. Okay, so that's one of the very important components is we can keep the retention of all the network traffic data for a long time, right? For you to debug, for you to find out basically what's going on, what happened in the network, in the cluster, right? So that's one of the important features here. So the other one is performance monitoring, right? And again, that's very important. We can do many different kinds of the monitoring parameters, right? So we capture your network traffic across all the nodes, all the recording, all the network traffic communications, right? Monitoring packets loss and retransmissions for all the packets, right? In Rocky V2 or RDMA's traffic. So we all collected or be able to monitor, right? So that's especially the protocol for AI network environment, right? So detect bandwidth, saturations, right? And also analyze lots of other parameters, right? For the packets in the packet level. So then we can identify the imbalancing and the flow distributions, right? And also the monitoring the queue buffers utilized on the network devices, and then analyze the latency discrepancies. All right. So many things that we can, parameters we can enable to monitor, right? For your particular the needs, right? This is a very powerful tool and a very detailed analyze monitoring, analyze tools here. So let's talk about the design of the cluster, right? And so this one is a 24U rack, and that's a smaller rack in the beginning, right? As I mentioned to you in the beginning, we do for NVIDIA GPUs, we do like 4 nodes, right? Each node has 8 GPUs. All here will be empty, right? So eventually, when you grow, you just can slice the machine, slice the into configured to DHCP automatically, identify the nodes, right? So right, automatic configure the network and then enable Kubernetes to recognize the new nodes, all things like that. So scalability is here. So if you see the rack here, at the bottom here is a storage server, right? We give you come with at least 500 terabyte of data storage, okay? So so you can choose, what kind of, depending on the performance, depending on the performance or depending on the capacity, you can choose what the devices, network drive, network devices that you want, right? NVMe, SSDs, right? And the HSDs, all that you can choose. Basically, we can configure for you, right? And likewise, the GPUs, right? Because this is specialized for NVIDIA GPU cluster, so then you pick A100, H100, whatever the GPUs is suitable for you, right? According to your budget, according to your workload. So then here also choose the operating systems as I mentioned before, right? Ubuntu or CentOS, different versions, right? So then after that, we have a BNC console server, which is out-of-band connections. So to check the cluster nodes and to the health and the power consumptions, all that we can do from remote monitoring, remote booting, and so on, right? So we need a BMC console server here, right? On top of that is Quantia QI. So QI is the analyzer, all right? As I mentioned to you before, this server analyzer is purely for the intrusion detections, performance monitoring, all that is here. Then on top of that is Quantia condition. That is a smart switch, all right? So this switch will direct the traffic, network traffic, to multiple computing nodes, to multiple storage nodes. I will show you later. You will see the details also, okay? So this is the design, rack design for the NVIDIA GPUs right now. That is in detail, right? So likewise for AMD GPU clusters, right? It's more or less the same, right? The storage server is the same, all right? So only difference, you choose different GPUs you want, right? So that's the main ideas. And the same thing is Linux. It's a predominant operating systems for you, right? So yeah, PMC console servers and analyzers and the intelligent switches. So that's all here. So that is the configurations, the layout of the rack. So let's talk about what's the Quantia and condition in the intelligent switch, right? Okay, what that means, so this is like interconnect. They distribute routing the traffic to multiple computing nodes, right? And also, direct traffic, communicate routing to multiple storage nodes, right? And then they also mirror the traffic, means duplicate the cluster internal computing traffic to Quantia QI analyzer. So this is this analyzer has no impact, no performance impact for the cluster, because it's a mirrored traffic. It's outside of the computing cluster network. So that means there's no effect for the performance, anything inside cluster computations. Okay, so this Quantia condition, what they do is latency and the congestion reporting, right? Workload mapping for GPU and the storage nodes, right? and dedicated ports to offload the mirror traffic to Quantia AI QI analyzer. Okay, so this is the Quantia condition smart switch here. So the other one is a condition Quantia QI. Okay, QI is analyzer, right? So what that is? So what we have here is it's very fast network analytics. So at 400 gigabits per second, it's very high performance. Okay, and also analyze like RACI V2s, right? The latest protocols related to the communications and on the network AI network, right? And the RDMAs monitoring, right? So as I mentioned to you before, there's options for the expandable storage for longer retention of a period. Means all the network traffic data we can collect and store for longer retention of time. So once we decide how large the data storage will be, so then you can keep how long historical cluster monitoring data, right? The data you want to keep, right? For go back, for analyze, right? Find out past the instance, past the attack, all that you can know from this capabilities here. Okay, so we also do is called Quantia cluster enhancement and consulting services. So what that means? The two most important things here for the for a cluster, right? For the infrastructure, two important components here is one is called the orchestration and the management setup, right? The container setup usually is Kubernetes-based orchestration. All the containers setups, and we can help you to configure the setup, right? And the other one is scheduling, right? Scheduling is bare metal based, also enabled in the container. Usually it's got Slurm based management. So we also can help you set up the doing for you, because there's a shortage of the expertise once you go into AI, especially AI infrastructure, AI clusters. So that's why we are here to help. Also the others also, right? So then the other one is very important is data storage consulting services. What that means, the data storage is extremely critical for any AI environment, okay, AI cluster, right? So what we can do, all set up like NFS, HDFS, Ceph, BGFS, Luxure, the any ones is designed for your own, for your own development environment, for your own decide of the project going, right? Different kinds of operating systems, including different kinds of the file systems here, right? So we also can do this kind of consulting because this is also need more expertise. You need more about this kind of knowledge in order you can, set up running the AI cluster smoothly. Of course, if you can do yourself, perfectly fine. But we are just offer here for help. So then the other thing is, as I mentioned to you before, right? So on-premise investment is cost effective. So if you can see, you see this graph, right? So initially, let's say you have AI models, you start up, you training from your laptop, and you want to try out, and you go to cloud. That's perfectly fine, right? Initially, investment is low, right? So because you dominated by experiment, right? You don't know how many GPUs, how many vGPUs you want to use, so cloud is a good place, playground you can do, right? That's perfectly good, and actually it should be this way. But when you come to certain points, right? As long you have models growing, become much more complicated, you want to train, for example, 7x24, right? 24/7, you train, right? And then your training frequency increased, your GPU time you use a lot, right? And then also the data size increased, right? And also that's you frequently access the data, right? Data transfer, data replication, whatever you do with the data, costly, right? Where cost, so the cost will raise, right, in the cloud environment. So in this case, you will see if you have your own infrastructure, will save lots of money for you, okay? Because you doesn't matter you train how many times, 24/7. I mean, many years, many days, that should be fine, right? So it doesn't matter that you transfer the data in and out, increase the data in the storage, no cost, right? So that's no cost. That is a critical part of the expenses when you doing using cloud services, okay? So what I'm saying here is you gotta think about that, right? At least make some planning. You can sometimes you can do hybrid cloud and on-premise together. They're perfectly fine. So basically on your needs, right? So most importantly is as your model grows, as your data grows, as you training, for example, if you training LLMs, right? If you training, customize the foundation models, or you're doing some Gen AIs, there's no way. I mean, you will be costly a lot, right? If you're doing on the cloud, okay? There's no question, okay? So just think about that. So then compare to others, right? So that's I said a lot of before, right? So the features we compare here is affordability, all-in-one convenience, built-in security and monitoring, right? Scalability and the flexibility, right? Network analytics and the data storage, right? This is what we offer here with the cluster. But if you're looking for the NVIDIA DGX, right? DGX is just a single server, right? High upfront cost, no question, right? So, and this is not including the storage yet. It's not including the, let's say, storage from NetApps, storage from the, EMC, right? So upfront cost is high, no question, right? So then it's when you talk about the all-in-one convenience, there's no way, right? So you gotta set up, you gotta get a consulting service to set up, no question, right? Additional setup required, right? And for the built-in security and the monitoring, right? Okay, there's require additional solutions. Right? I mean, usually, require additional solutions because this is here. What are we talking about? Is the DGX H100? It's a single standalone system. Okay, so scalability and flexibility. Yes, you can scale. You can scale more DGX, right? As I mentioned to you, if you scale to 128 GPUs, right? Like base part, in $10 million, right? So that is the expense you have to prepare, right? So network analytics, there's no built-in tools like that, right? So because this, first of all, this is just a single system right now. We're comparing in terms of the comparison for the cluster size of the GPUs and the capabilities occur, right? So then here was the other one is data storage, right? So we provide at least 500 terabyte of data storage. There's nothing provided, right? You have to use a third party, so no question, right? So when we talk about the cloud, say affordability, right? As you see the graph in the before, right? So will be expensive in long-term usage. There's no question, right? Highly over the cost when you have larger models, right? So all-in-one, right? It requires cloud management, and of course you have to do your own configurations, everything, right? Set up everything for yourself. Require cloud configurations. I mean, that's you need, right? So that and then that's it. Building security, intrusion detection. Yeah, cloud tools are provided, but you need to add additional cost in the complexity, right? And the adding security add-on. You will see the next few slides. I will show you the breakup of the cost. And the scalability, yeah, cloud, yes, you can scale, but high cost. Yes, you can scale, right? Recurring cost. There's no question. Then network analytics, right? Yes, you general, you have tools. You need to add the added cost, right? So you gotta pay more. Customer monitoring required, right? So then for the data storage, yes, they provide, but at a high cost, no question. So that's for the cloud, right? So the next two slides is about a breakdown. So not yet, it's the breakdown. So this is the pricing, right? So here is the price comparison with the 80 GPUs. Here's a comparison with the NVIDIA 8100 GPUs, 500 terabytes of data storage, right? And including capability of performance monitoring, intrusion detection systems, okay? So you see, we are like 500K, right? So for NVIDIA DGX, this is a standalone systems. There's no intrusion detection systems, right? You need to use a third-party storage. And when you're using NetApp's data storage, this is AFS C series, minimum is 150K, right? Or you're using Dell EMC storage, power scale, minimum 200K, right? So not including additional, others. I'm sure there's others. Support anything else is could be very expensive, right? So, but one-time fee will be 700K, okay? So for the cloud, right, expenses, right? So Amazon Web Service, you're using per month, like this kind of configuration, 8 NVIDIA GPUs, right, 500 terabyte of storage, performance monitoring, intrusion detection systems. So per month is 84K, okay? But Google will be a little bit low, will be 47K per month, okay? So that's the cost. What that means is you run on the cloud, let's say for 10 months, you already be able to have in-house infrastructure for you to do the inference, to do the training, right? So think about that. This is a comparison, and this is not cheap, okay, for the cloud services here. So now here's the breakdown, right? For the calculation here for AWS, right? They said, see, data transfer, you increase whatever you got to pay, right? The lots of things here you want to pay, you need to pay. So the let's see here is say computing for a month right now, right? Computing you're 71K, storage 11K, right? Yeah, performance monitoring, yes, just 159. That's fine, right? Intrusion detection, right? 140, right, per month. Data transfer costs you $900, right? So totally approximately is 84K just per month, right? So likewise, let's check Google, right? So it will be the same thing. You see the computing resources, 9,000, right? 9K, right? Almost $10,000, right? Storage is more expensive here. That is 20,000, right? And then is performance monitoring, which is 1,000. Intrusion detection is 8,000, right? Networking 8,000, additional service, right? So the add up is like a 47K. So that is the cost of the cloud, right? You got to consider that. So let's talk about the power, right? Power consumption, comparison. That is a major part of worry for AI infrastructure, because just the GPU just consume GPU is the hog of the power, and also not just GPU, because also the whole infrastructure go with that. It's just cost the power related. The power is just the big issue here, right? So if you're looking for just a single systems, NVIDIA DGX H100, right? Here is a standalone GPU server. This is not including the power consumption, like kilowatts of the data storage appliance. Let's say from NVIDIA data storage partners like Dell EMC, NetApp's, right? Nothing to do with that consideration yet. Just a single machine, okay? It's cost, 10.2 kilowatts, okay? 10.2 kilowatts. So then we talk about hours, right? We are the cluster here, right? So for, let's see, it's a comparison, use NVIDIA GPUs. Let's see, 4 one-use systems with 2 H100 GPUs each, right? Total together is 6.8 kilowatts, right? Console server, 25 watts, data storage, 500 watts, right? QAI analyzer, 650 watts, computer Quantia condition switches, only 500 watts. The total add up is 80.475 kilowatts, right? Think about it. This is just starting small, only 4 nodes. Once you add up all together, think about how much power you can save. The comparison will be very, very obvious. Once the scale up of the computing powers, right? So this is an example, about the power consumption for our cluster offering here. So now there's another comparison, right? So for AI network comparison, right? So common AI networks, it consists about 4 networks, separate networks, what I'm talking about, right? First one is computing GPU networks, computing server farms, server networks. And then there's management networks, right? Such as, management SSG, SSH, for example, right? And many other features, front-end connections connected to the management network, right? And then there's a special network called data storage network, right? And then there's another one, BNC monitoring network, right? This one is, as I mentioned to you, is critical for the system booting. You see the powers management, all that, right? So totally it's 4 separate networks, right? So what happens here is the adding the complexity, right? Use more network equipment because you need multiple switches to talk to each other in order to ready for the whole cluster working, right? So that's why you need more equipment, right? Slow down the AI jobs performance, right? Higher the cost, okay? So if you're looking at our AI QAI cluster network, right? We only have 2 networks, okay? So we integrate the 3 networks into 1. So make the storage management close coupled together, okay? So what's that good is you reduce the complexity, right? You use less network equipment, all right? You improve the AI jobs performance. You lower the total cost, right? So that is an example of why Quantia QAI cluster is cost effective. At the same time, we improve the performance of the training or inferencing, for the AI workload. So this is one of the example of how we can do better, provide a much more cost effective, but at the same time, you also have increased the performance, right? Increase the capabilities of the cluster functionalities, right? Okay, another one is this slide we'll talk about is AI infrastructure is totally vastly different than the traditional IT infrastructure, right? Here, I just give you one example. So it's a networking examples, right? So for the networking, right, traditional IT infrastructure is is north-south, right? Kinds of the network data traffic, right? Control user access, right? It's loosely coupled by applications, right? It's a TCP, it's the protocol, no bandwidth flows and the utilization, right? High jitter tolerance, oversubscribed, topologies, right? Heterogeneous traffic, statistical multipathing, right? Multipath, right? So this is a traditional IT infrastructure. So when you talk about the AI, IT AI infrastructure networking, so basically it's east-west traffic, right? What that means, all the data traffic not go out of data centers. It's confined in the restricted in the data center. You train, you do the training, you do the inferencing, whatever you do is like that, right? So this tightly coupled process, application processes, right? So for the protocol, it's not TCP, it's RDMA, high bandwidth flows and the utilization, right? So no jitter tolerance, no blocking topologies here. Okay, so non-blocking topologies here, right? So the the bursty, so network capacity, predictive performance. You need a predictive, right? You need to know what's going on for the performance. So the key measurement for AI optimization, optimize the cluster, just just how long our AI training jobs takes from start to finish. That's the way, the key measurement. Okay, but what I'm saying here is totally different than the traditional IT infrastructure, traditional IT data center, right? So the point here is, we need additional expertise. So for AI revolution, we shortage of the IT shortage of the AI infrastructure expertise, right? That is also a key part of how can you keep your AI workload or AI training all running smoothly, right? You need that's a basic infrastructure expertise to do that, right? So that's why we also create a call Quantia AI Infrastructure Consulting Service, right? So what that means, we can help you design or create your own favorite AI infrastructure, right? So that's in those key services will be high performance storage and the server configurations, and advanced network setup, seamless data flow, and security measurement, including firewalls and the intrusion detections, right? Continuous monitoring and the scalability solutions. Basically, we can do whatever you want to do with your cluster, with your infrastructure. We can provide this kind of service for you, right? So then, why you choose Quantia? It means proven expertise in AI infrastructure solutions, right? We tailor the strategy for your unique business needs. Focus on maximize the performance in the return of the investment. Okay, so that is why we consider this is needed, because of the current AI environment. We need this kind of service. So if you can do yourself, that's perfectly fine. If you need help, we can do it for you. We can help you. So yeah, we get some award, right? For 5 years, we get a best of the business. That's we get an award for that. And then, so the last one is we here's the contact information, and for the attendees, we do free consultation for webinar attendees, right? So here we have the sales, the emails, and the website, and the phone numbers, and so all that for you, for anything you want to question you have, and you can ask, right? So the last one is, so I want you to take away for this presentation will be only things here, right? Is our cluster, we created try to democratize AI infrastructure for all. So more people can use the infrastructure, the better, right? We don't have to be rely on very expensive one, proprietary, and also the cloud solutions. We are the alternative to those solutions, right? So we are here for you, right? If you need anything, the alternative, you can come to us, right? So then here will be affordable, again, scalable, the AI cluster, and are customized for options for your needs. Okay, so here's my email and my LinkedIn profile, and I'm thank you for your attending, and for any questions, please let me know. Okay.